How's it going, everyone? My name is Lionel, and welcome to ITYH, a horror otome. By the way, considering it's the day today, as of, well, when this video releases, happy Halloween! I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and get lots of candy today, but not too much, everything in moderation. Anyway, let's get right into this, shall we? This game contains disturbing images and themes. Opinions of the characters do not represent the author's own values. Would you like to see the trigger warnings? Yeah! Visual and text descriptions of gore, violence, character death, and naughty themes. Textual and visual descriptions of cruelty towards animals. Textual descriptions of dubious consent. Naughty themes, suicide, and child abuse.
What are you staring at, kid? If you don't have any change, then get lost.
What? Did I just get decked by a hobo? Sorry. Dad? Yes, sweetie. Do you love me more, or do you love Mr. Buchanan more? That's not a fair question, sweetie. I love you and Mr. Buchanan in very different ways, thus a comparison isn't fair. So I'm not the most special person to you after all. What's the pout? Of course you are the most special person. You said the same thing about Mr. Buchanan days ago. You two are both special. We are all family, aren't we? Don't fret, sweetie. You'll find your special someone someday, and when that day comes, you will understand. But what if I don't want to understand? So you and Joseph are dating now? Yeah. I thought you two had a falling out or something. It's a long story. Let's just say that we finally sorted things out. So, how does it feel? Huh? How does it feel to have a boyfriend? Nothing different. There's just more hand-holding and kissing involved. And how does that feel? Why are you asking me? You kissed that guy yourself just last week at the party. But I wasn't in love with him. I didn't even like him that much. It's different doing this sort of stuff with someone you like, right? So, did it feel nice kissing Joseph? Yeah, I don't hate it. To be number one to someone. To kiss and hold hands and actually enjoy it. To have your entire face light up at the mere mention of someone's name. Dad and Mr. Buchanan, Ivy and Joseph, whatever they had, I wanted it. I wanted it so badly, I would have stomach aches from sheer envy alone. But finding that special someone, that was the hard part. After all, they had to be special in some way. They can't just be the average hormonal teenage boy who thought you looked hot in your shorts. But who? I mean, why choose a guy? Honestly, guys kinda suck sometimes. Something's still missing. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe I'm just being too picky. Maybe I should just... Hello! What's with that unsettling smile? I think I finally found the one! I see, so who's the lucky guy this time? Still giddy, I discreetly gestured at his general direction. Ivy stood on her tiptoes, straining her neck to get a good look at him. The skinny dude with red hair or the evil-looking albino? The evil-looking albino! Ivy sighed. Well, at least he looks our age. Hey, Mr. Sebastian and Todd weren't that old. You were 13 when you had that massive crush on that 21-year-old lifeguard, and 15 when you chased after that poor substitute teacher. It's like you are begging to appear on an episode of Law & Order. Like Ivy's the one to talk. I'm not the one who's going out with a college student when I'm in high school. I already know I'm going to the local university. Anyone with half a brain cell can get in. I examined my nails for imperfections. Besides, didn't the counselor tell us to chase our passions? I don't think that's what he meant. As soon as I entered the cafeteria, I spotted him. He was sitting all alone in a faraway corner, shoulders hunched and staring into space. Instead of shoveling in pasta like the rest of the students, he played with his food. Carrots, chicken, broccoli were herded from one side of his tray to the other before getting crushed into pulp slowly with a plastic spoon. I don't blame him. Their cafeteria selection is quite limited. I wonder what kind of food he likes. Does he have a sweet tooth, or is he a fan of more savory dishes? Stop staring and just go and invite the guy to come over and eat with us. I thought you didn't want me to get involved with him. Ivy skewered a carrot with a plastic fork. Knowing you are just going to approach him regardless of what I think. Might as well do it the safe way because you two start having clandestine meetings in dark alleyways. That's actually kind of hot. Just go! I quickly checked my reflection from my phone and gave myself a big smile. Then I walked over to his table. Hi, I'm Camille. Do you need anything? His voice had a strange accent and was less welcoming than expected. It just made him more mysterious and attractive. I just thought I'd come over and say hi. What's your name? Osgood. What do you want? Well, let's get straight to the point, shall we? I turned up a smile. An extra what? I just wanted to ask if you wanted to come over and sit with my friend and me. No. Pardon? Osgood suddenly stood up and I realized just how tall he was. Ooh. My mind flashed back to the YouTube video I watched of a polar bear mauling a penguin. I don't know what you want with me, but whatever it is, I don't have time for it. With that, he left. Before I could chase after him, Ivy stopped me and dragged me over to our table. What the heck was that all about? Did he threaten you? Oh, it's not that serious. He just socially challenged. Shy. He's very shy. He'll come around eventually. Later, Ivy's place. I think I tore a muscle. Please tell me this is the last reference picture you need. Just one more. And we're done. These really turned out nice. Next time, I should just take some of you and Joseph interacting. Only Ivy would be dense enough to suggest her friend pose with her boyfriend. Instead of having me pose with Joseph, how about taking pictures of you two instead? Nah, that won't work. I'm too short and don't have the right body shape. Whenever we take full body shots together, it just looks weird. With that, she puts down her phone and got out her sketchbook. A large white canvas, almost the size of a small child, loomed over her. It was to be the centerpiece of her application portfolio and give her a scholarship to her dream art school. To be honest, I didn't understand why she was so obsessed over making sure this one piece was perfect. Judging by the sheer number of rewards Ivy has accepted over the last years, the admission committee would be blind not to accept her. Honestly, I love the art. Wow. So, what did you dig up about your evil albino crush? Who? The evil albino who looks ready to strangle someone? It's only been a couple of days, but he's still your crush, right? Ah, you mean Osgood. Apparently, he lives under a rock. I couldn't find any information about him on social media. Dude never posted any pictures. But that mysteriousness just makes him all the more interesting. You know I love a challenge. Speaking of which, I took this the other day. I forced the single blurry photo I have of Osgood under Ivy's eyes. He was trying to block his face with his left hand while a chewed up ball pen hung from his mouth at an unnatural angle. The picture, isn't it? Ivy stared at me a while before grabbing my phone away from me. Hey, what are you doing? Deleting the photo so it won't come back to bite you in the future. You do know this is approaching stalker territory, don't you? He could report you to the teacher. Well, what if I am a stalker? What if I own up to the fact that I'm a stalker? What if he likes stalkers? What if he loves stalkers? What if he's like me and wants to be stalked? Well, I don't want to be stalked in real life, but in good spirit of this game, hell yeah! True, but I'm a blonde high school girl while he's a hulking guy of 6'4". Oh my. It's not like the teachers would do anything aside from giving me a verbal warning. In fact, most of them will think it's cute. Besides, if I don't step on his toes a bit, he'll never notice me. You know how I have never really managed to stay interested in anyone for too long? High school is almost over and I'm still wandering around aimlessly. So I'm gonna wander up onto his bed! But Osgood, there's something different about him. I can feel it. Just promise me you won't take any more pictures of him without permission. For the rest of the semester, I just keep taking pictures of him! Osgood. Osgood! 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 Stop following me. You're too self-conscious. I was just passing by and thought that I'd come by and say hi. Besides, does it really bother you that much when someone greets you every day? The semester is almost over, but he's still like this. He really is a tough nut to crack. Did you have a bad day? It's okay, I understand. I took a pack of gum out from my bag and held it out towards him. Here, have some gum. I swear it tastes better than the pen you chew on all the time. Not a pineapple kind of guy, Well, I also have peach flavor. Are you a masochist or something? Ooh, I didn't know you were into kinky stuff. I'm sorry? Don't give me that poo. What do I have to do to make you leave me alone? What can he do? He can finally look at me properly instead of treating me like I'm some kind of annoying fruit fly that won't die. If that's too much to ask for, I'll also take a hot makeout set. Yes! Come hang out with me on Saturday. We can get ice cream or take a walk. We can do anything you want, really. If you want nothing to do with me after that, I promise you, I'll never speak to you again. When and where do you want to meet? Oh, hell yeah! Ice cream! When I walked to the ice cream store, there were already 2 girls sitting in the corner. One of them met my eye, and I realized that she looked slightly familiar. Was she on the yearbook committee? The orchestra club? Or the art club? I can't really remember. I must have cycled through 8 clubs in the past 3 years. I can't be expected to remember all their faces. Before I could figure out whether to wave or stay hi, she had already ducked her head down in an awkward attempt to pretend not to see me. Well, rude. Either way, she's not important. Oscar isn't here yet. What should I do while I wait for him? Let's see. I shall eavesdrop. I am gonna be a creep. I usually could care less about what others are talking about, but snippets of the conversation still somehow leaked over. Couldn't do anything right at first. Just sat there scrolling her phone, left the club as soon as the club president finished training her. The scary white-haired girl and the artsy Asian kid, a bunch of weirdos. Ow! Very unoriginal. No wonder I couldn't remember their names. Let's see. I will play on my phone. I opened the game I downloaded eons ago and start slowly progressing through the first level. Message Ivy. I sent Ivy a selfie of myself at the ice cream store. She didn't respond. Given that she's currently on a 5-hour bus ride to see a boyfriend at college, she probably fell asleep to fight off motion sickness. I will eavesdrop again. The 2 girls are now chatting about the newest episode of Ursa Major. I don't know what that is. Eavesdrop. Those 2 aren't talking about anything interesting. I'll order something. Feeling a bit restless, I flipped through the menu and mindlessly pointed at a random item. A few minutes later, a soda float was placed in front of me. 750 calories of deliciousness. I will continue to eavesdrop. I will play on my phone. I reached the 23rd level, and I realized that if I want to progress, I have to cough up actual money. I closed the app in order to resist the temptation. I will eavesdrop again. You aren't talking about anything. Message Ivy. Still no reply. Message Ivy. Ordered something. There's still half of the soda float left. I should try and finish it first before getting something else. I'll eavesdrop. Play on my phone. Against better judgment, I paid $2.99 to advance to the game. Unfortunately, after about 20 more minutes of gameplay, I reached another paywall. I decided to quit after that. I will play even more. I scrolled through my social media feeds and mindlessly liked a bunch of photos. Oh god, play on my phone. My phone is running out of battery. I shouldn't use it so much. I'm gonna message Ivy. Still no reply. Order something. The empty sucking coming from the end of my straw informed me that I had just finished my soda. The slight heavy feeling in my stomach dissuaded me from ordering anything else. Osgood is really taking a long time to show up. He didn't give me his number, so it's not like I could text him. I'll just wait a bit longer. 20 minutes later. 50 minutes later. Wow, I am persistent. It's been 2 hours! How much longer did I wait? Am I the under here? Hey. Hey! Sorry to bother you, but it's closing time. Guess he didn't show up after all. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for waking me up. He didn't show up. But I honestly thought that was the end of my relationship with Osgood, and I would eventually get over it. I will mope for a few weeks before forcing myself to take an interest in something else. A poster advertising a new club. A new young hire of the town gift shop who decided to take a gap year. Something. Someone. They probably won't be as exciting as Osgood, but it will have to do until something better comes by. At least, that was what's supposed to happen. The day after. I did not expect to be jump scared like that. I lay flat on my bed, heavy metal blasting through my headphones as I stare at the ceiling. Ivy had left a few text messages earlier, asking me how the date went, but I was not in the mood to answer her. Why bother with confiding in your only friend when you can only stare into oblivion instead? I'll just ignore it. I'm coming! Grunting with effort, I struggled up from the bed and lurched forwards towards the door. The unfamiliar and slightly bewildered face that greeted me from the other side of the door only increased my irritation. Yes? How can I help you? Hi, you're Osgood's friend, aren't you? I'm from his chemistry class. Nice to meet you. Osgood's classmate from chemistry class. As you can see from the state of my hair and clothing, I'm really in no state to make small talk. What do you want? The girl winced and held up a notebook in self-defense. I found Osgood's notebook and thought you could help me return it to him, you two being friends and all. If this were a day ago, I would have jumped at the opportunity to get closer to Osgood. But now, I just want to shut the door and go back to bed. Why don't you return it to him yourself on Monday? Didn't you know? We have class off this weekend. Anyway, I thought that as his friend, you would have a better chance of seeing him over the long weekend than I do. Sorry to bother you. I'll be going now. She thrust the notebook into my arms and left in a hurry. Wait, I don't even know where he... And she's gone. Great. Muttering like a grumpy old man, I threw the notebook carelessly on the table and flopped back on my bed. Time to waste some more time and forget all about what happened. 1 minute later, I gave in to my curiosity and grabbed the notebook off the table. It's all just chemistry notes. Feeling disappointed, I was about to toss it back on the table when I noticed the label on the back. The property of Osgood McCabe. If found, please return to the following address. 3456 Remington Hill. I'm not sure what OT stands for. 9056. Is it Otome? I'm not sure. After blowing me off like that, the least he could do is give me an explanation. With a new purpose in mind, I sprung up from my bed and headed for my mirror. The day after. The developer, who was responsible for the layout of this town, was not very good at their job. Instead of placing each house on a single plane, they instead opted for placing every house in an upward spiral along the large hill situated in the center of a town. The larger and more expensive lots were placed at the top of the hill to overlook the more plebeian priced lots at the bottom in a metaphor of class stratification. What the developer neglected to take into consideration is that almost everything needed for everyday survival is located at the foot of the hill. As a result, almost nobody lived here permanently. In the end, the rich opted to turn the fancy mansions at the top of the hill into summer homes, while the other lots languished. The town became sort of a zombie that won't stay dead, intensely alive for the few months during the summer, while being deserted for the rest of the year. Realizing their error, the entire town decided to pool their resources into building a semi-decent school as a last-ditch attempt to attract more inhabitants. Unfortunately, aside from the family of a few teachers, all they got for their efforts were a handful of preteens and teenagers. 70% of the student body lived at the school, with myself included. But based on the address, Osgood was one of the rare few people who actually decided to reside in one of the mansions sitting at the top of the hill. Unfortunately, this just means more work for me. The foundation melted off my face like paint, while sweat stained my nice dress. My toes wailed in protest against my shiny but uncomfortable shoes with each step I took. As I slowly climbed the hills in my ridiculous getup, the houses increased in size while decreasing in numbers. Trees enveloped me in a featureless blend of green that swirled around me as the crickets shrieked. It's a miracle that I managed to end up in front of Osgood's front porch without finding myself lost. Well, time to demand an explanation for my hurt feelings. I'm gonna knock on the door. Maybe he didn't hear me. Knock on the door. Come on! Open the damn door! Open the damn door, Osgood! I was about to knock again when the door suddenly swung open, showing a dark, dimly lit foyer with tall ceilings. Ivy will probably yell at me for what I'm about to do, but I deserve an explanation from Osgood. I'll leave as soon as I return his notebook. Having shoved what's left of my common sense to the side, I pushed the door wide open and went into the house. Well, someone is definitely skimpy on electricity bills. Usually houses this size are fairly well lit. I've never been in one that's this dark. Time to go find Osgood and deliver his notebook. Let's go upstairs. I started to climb the stairs when I heard a sound from upstairs. Call out Osgood's name. Osgood! Don't give me that look. I'm just here to return your chemistry book. Why didn't you answer the door? I must have rung the doorbell 100 times. Also, you owe me an explanation for... Get out! Hey, let go of me! Hey! Took me a minute to realize I was literally thrown out from his house. You can't do this to me! You owe me an explanation for yesterday! Hey! You listening? Stop ignoring me! I banged on the door repeatedly for half an hour, but the only thing that greeted me was silence. After some time, I had no choice but to leave. And that was the last time I saw him. The next week, he didn't show up for school. The official explanation is that his parents had transferred jobs and took him with them. Somehow, I doubted that was true. Trespassing is only bad if get caught. Wait, what? Wait, I got an ending? That was weird. Alright, so I suppose let's go to the hallway on the left. I found myself in a long and slightly narrow hallway. There's one door on each side of the hallway, while portraits line the wall. Look at the portraits. Well, they are definitely Osgood's family members, alright? All mysterious and good looking. Let's check the first door. The glass door is locked. I could vaguely make out piano through the door. Music room? Check on the second door. The mahogany door is locked. As I pushed it, a layer of dust clung to my hand. Guess Osgood doesn't use this room very often. Let's get back to the foyer. Alright, hallway to the right. This is something straight out of a period drama. Dark. Foreboding. Empty. Definitely a room that would make the cover of Gothic Mansions Monthly. Also, what's that smell? Ooh! That's a real person! Okay, calm down. I should probably go help. Before I realized what I was doing, I had already hidden behind the curtains. Despite my best efforts of playing dead, I was still painfully aware of the rapid beating of my heart. Through a hole in the fabric, I could see Osgood slowly approaching the gagged man. I'm not gonna look away. I want to see. For the longest time, Osgood didn't do anything but stand in front of the man. After a while, the man stirred. He stared at Osgood for a while before struggling frantically to escape his bonds. Instead of breaking free, the man fell to the floor instead. Osgood bent down to prop him up. When Bancroft comes back, he will compensate you to the best of his abilities. Is there anything you would like? Osgood removed the man's gag. You psycho! You amputated my leg! The man's frenzied rant was cut short by a gagging sound. Osgood had forcefully poured something into the guy's mouth. After another bout of intense struggling, the man fell unconscious. You should really think about what you want when you wake up. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. I'm gonna stay hidden. I need to get out of here. But to my horror, my body wasn't responding. In my desperation, I dug my nails into my thighs. The pain finally jolted my body awake. Feeling as if I had just emerged from a bathtub full of ice, I stumbled clumsily out of my hiding place. A faint metallic smell tainted the air. The poor man was still sitting in the chair. He was not struggling. Examine. Instead of bolting out the door, I found my morbid curiosity pushing me towards the man, like a fly beckoned by the stench of rotting meat. The man was missing a lot of limbs. Surprisingly, the wound was clean. After staring at the man for a moment, my survival instincts finally decided to kick in. I gagged and backed away a few steps. What was I thinking? I need to get out of here as quickly as possible. Keeping my footsteps as light as possible, I scrambled frantically out of the dining room. I just need to make it to the front door without Osgood noticing. I can do this. I can do this. Unfortunately, before I reached the front door, I noticed a familiar figure standing in the foyer. It was Osgood. Based on how his shoulders were hunched over and the faint glow in the dark, he seemed to be texting someone. I forced myself to calm down and hid in the shadows. It's okay. I'm gonna be okay. I just need to wait for him to leave. Osgood? Hello? After what seemed like an eon, Osgood finally sighed and shoved the phone back into his pocket before starting to move upstairs. Just a few more seconds, then I can... My nap alarm! No, turn off! I'm dead. I am so dead. Get up. Get up! My feet and hands were bound. I was in the passenger seat of an unfamiliar car. Everything outside the window looked unfamiliar. The car air conditioner whirled in the background. The muzzle of a gun was pressed to my temple. With his other hand, Osgood was fiddling with my phone. This is your guardian's contact, isn't it? He held my phone to my face. Mr. Buchanan's number glared at me in bright green. Yes? Good. Now listen very carefully to what I'm about to say next. His tone was emotionless and businesslike, as if reciting a script that he has practiced 100 times. I've already connected your phone to the Bluetooth. Right now, I want you to call your guardian and announce that you have suddenly decided to go on a road trip with your friend. Since finals are already finished, and there are only 2 weeks of school left, your guardian should believe you if you speak normally. But if you say anything out of line, you tap the muzzle lightly against my temple. I want to throw up. Now, you good to talk? What if I say no? What if I say no? He sighed and looked out the window. The gun was still pressed to my temple. In that case, tell me when you're ready. Wait, what? I'm gonna observe. I tried to observe my surroundings as discreetly as possible. All I got was that we were definitely not in town anymore. None of it was useful information. I looked at Oscar through the rear view mirror. He was still looking out the window with the face of stone. The fingers of his free hand were tapping quickly against his scrunched up legs. His legs were so long, they didn't properly fit in the car. There was no way I could overpower him. I'll continue to observe. My hands and feet were tied together with duct tape. Osgood must have used an entire roll on me. I could probably escape from my bonds if I used my teeth. The chance of me doing that without him noticing is non-existent. Observe. My pea-sized brain was still searching for a way out of this situation when Osgood spoke. You know what? Milton was right. I'm just creating more trouble for myself. What? Oh! I died! I guess it's time to move. God damn it! Alright. I'm ready. There was really no way out. I had no choice but to play along. I'm ready. Osgood pressed the call button. The ringing of the phone echoed across the cramped space through the car speaker. Hello, this is Emily Johnson, secretary of Mr. Buchanan. How can I help you? Hi, Miss Johnson. It's Camille. Camille! What a surprise! Mr. Buchanan will be pleased to hear from you. I ignored her BS pleasantries and pressed on. Yeah, I'm just calling to tell Mr. Buchanan that I'll be leaving school a few weeks early. I see. May I ask who you are traveling with and how long will you be gone? Ivy Sue. I'm going with Ivy on a road trip. We don't know how long we will be gone. Probably the entire summer. That was an easily verifiable lie. Mr. Buchanan wouldn't care enough to look deeper into it, but Ivy will realize something is not normal. I half expect Oscar to catch on and shoot me, but he continues staring out the window. I will inform Mr. Buchanan as soon as possible. Will that be all? Yeah, that's it. Thanks. A deep wave of despair washed over me as Miss Johnson hanged up the phone. I guess I was still subconsciously holding on to the hope that she would sense my distress telepathically. That went better than expected. Can you remove the gun now? Just one more thing. He pulled out a water bottle and handed it to me. Drink this. All of it. Is he actually going to poison me? You know what? I'm gonna drink it. Swallowing my humiliation, I closed my eyes and let Osgood pour the water into my mouth. The last thing I remembered was Osgood finally removing the gun. Did I die? Did I actually die? Wait, no, I'm alive! After realizing that I was alive, I lurched towards the door like a drunken man. But before I could touch the doorknob, something forcefully tugged me back and I fell to the floor. A chain. An actual chain was around my foot. Oh my god. Let's observe my surroundings. Squashing my urge to scream, I looked around. The room was quite bare. A mattress was pushed to the corner while my chains were fastened to the wall. The window was boarded up with iron bars, and the curtains were the same color as the ones in the dining room. Surprisingly, there was also a bathroom connected to the room. I will continue to observe my surroundings. I don't want to do that right now. I will attempt to calm down. There was a mattress on the floor. I ignored it completely and went to the curtains instead. Thankfully, the chain was long enough. I crouched and wrapped the velvet textured fabric around my body so that it covered me completely. With my security blanket in place, I pulled my knees to my chest and finally allowed my body to start shaking. After a while, I finally felt better enough to get up. I will calm myself down more. Don't want to do that right now. Observe my surroundings. What, my only option is to scream for someone? Sure. Hello? Osgood? Anyone? Hello? Suddenly, somewhere below me, the piano started playing. I jumped and almost tripped over my chains. To be honest, it was a fluid performance. Not a single mistake was made. It somehow just made me more terrified. I'm terrified of art. Cool. Eventually, the piece changed, but the next song was exactly the same, complicated and relentless. Every note was diligently hammered out with precision and skill. And on it went. I don't know exactly how much time had passed, but at least 10 songs were played before the house fell silent again. It's Osgood, and he is holding a box of cereal and a glass pitcher of water. Pressing myself against the wall, I stared at him. He ignored me, placed the food on the floor, and started to leave. I get cereal! Wait! I lunged at him and tried to grab his arm. He dodged me, but turned around. His face was dispassionate as ever. Let's see. Why are you keeping me here? Please let me go and tell anyone. How long are you gonna keep me in here? Burst into tears. Why are you keeping me here? I don't know. Liar. If that's all good, then I'll be taking my leave. Bye, Osgood! Have a nice day! In the end, I still didn't get any useful information. Not knowing what to do, I walked over to where he was standing and picked up the cereal bowl from the ground. Considering how I passed out pretty quickly after drinking the water bottle, eating anything from him isn't the best idea. God help me. Oh. Well, I'm not going to be getting into this just yet. I am going to be leaving chapter 2 for another episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to see more, definitely subscribe to the channel. And hey, let me know below if there's any other games you want me to play. Would love to check them out. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. And I will be seeing you in the next video. This is Lionel, signing out. Ciao.